Welcome back, Rich Minds. It's your boy Reno coming back to you with another video. Alright, and so today's topic is gonna be how they programmed you to be poor. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Understand this, y'all. This video is based upon how they programmed you to be poor. Now, pause for a second. I know some of y'all are wondering what I'm doing right here, right? This is my Reno Speaks Entrepreneurship page, okay? For those who are wondering what I'm doing, because I know I do a lot of motivation as well as inspiration. I wanted to do something a bit different, something else that I'm also passionate about, which is entrepreneurship, because I am an entrepreneur. So I want to spread knowledge, wealth, and just having a rich mentality in entrepreneurship, because I know what y'all go through, and quiet as kept, y'all, I go through it as well. So with that being said, I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, okay? And so we're gonna get directly into it, y'all. But before we go any further, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on the video as well as subscribe to the channel, okay? So I want to go ahead and get into this, y'all. Understand this. They have programmed you to be poor. Okay, they've programmed you to be broke, all right, and they have programmed you to not want to believe in yourself without realizing that, listen, if you invest into yourself, you will be able to have so much more income. I mean, the limitations is no cap. You can make whatever you want to make whenever you work for yourself, okay? And they've instilled that fear within you. So I'm going to start off by saying this. The first thing is this right here, y'all. They told you to get a job. They have told you to get a job. You heard grandma say get a job. You heard mama say get a job. You heard daddy. You heard auntie, cousins. I mean, even little sis got a job, right? And so what happens is, y'all, you begin to grow quite fond of the job, right? And then become dependent on that job. And so becoming dependent on a job is one of the most devastating things you can do. The reason being is because that job has a cap on it. That job has limitations, okay? And that job does not care about you, y'all. I mean, we've seen it firsthand with the pandemic. We've seen it firsthand with COVID-19, right? They'll drop you like a bad habit. So understand this. They have told you to get a job. So Reno, are you saying that jobs are bad and we shouldn't have jobs? That's not what I'm saying, sir. That's not what I'm saying, ma'am. I want you to tune in and understand exactly what I mean. So all I'm saying is, if you got your job, okay, work your job, work on your job, okay, allow that to pay your bills, but you need to develop some type of skill. You need to develop some type of side hustle, as well as developing something that you can do, okay, that can bring in some extra revenue, right? A lot of times, y'all, people get so strung out on these jobs to where when they get home, they tired. They can't even work on what they want to work on. Okay? They can't even fulfill their own business idea. Why? Because their job is taking all their time, taking all their energy, right? And so they don't have no time or energy to put on their side hustle or on their business. All right? So understand that, y'all. You probably grew up and people told you that a job is the only way. No, understand this, y'all. It's some people who have good jobs, right? So I'm not saying that you can't be successful from a job, right? Because there are some corporate positions. There are some jobs that will pay you a lot, right? Especially if you don't have any kids. Okay, you making 70, 80K, 90K a year, right? I mean, you balling. Even if you're probably making 60K, no kids, you probably still balling depending on what type of lifestyle you living on. So all I'm saying is, y'all, you want to make sure that you are open-minded to, okay, you work your job, but building something else on the side so you can bring in some extra revenue, right? So that's the first way they have programmed you to be poor and broke. They told you to work a job. You put in your time, you put in your energy, and you put in your legacy in another man's hand. Going back to it, y'all, COVID-19, they didn't care about nobody. They dropped them like a bad habit, right? And so it's the same thing with this right here, y'all. All I'm simply saying is work your job, but build something else on the side and build it so big to where you can alleviate your job, right? They told you to get a job, but that wasn't the only way to build wealth, right? So understand that, y'all. So the second thing of how they programmed you to be poor, okay, and broke is going to be this, y'all. They trained you to pay everyone else first, right? They have trained you to pay everyone else first. So, Reno, what does that look like and what does that mean? They have trained you to pay your bills, right? And I'm not saying don't pay your bills now. You got to pay your bills. But they've trained you to pay the light bill, pay your AC bill, pay this bill, pay that bill, car note, insurance, rent. They told you and trained you to pay everybody else. But when it comes to you, you lacking. You haven't even bought yourself a $10 pair of drawers. You haven't did anything, right? In terms of building up your wealth or in terms of being able to invest into you. And so that's one thing that they've done, y'all. And you got to realize that and understand that. They have told you to pay everybody else. You got to pay your bills. You don't want to get kicked out the house. You don't want to get evicted. You still want your car, don't you? They've instilled so much fear to where you like, oh, let me pay this person. And then when you look back, you're like, I don't have anything. And then it's this ongoing cycle. You pay everybody out, look back at you, no money. Pay everybody out, look back at you, no money. And you keep doing that and you're wondering why, like, man, why am I broke? Why am I still in poverty? Why am I poor? And that's one of the reasons, y'all. They've trained you to pay everybody else first. Do y'all know that all millionaires, right? I read a book called The Automatic Millionaire by David Batt. Y'all should definitely get that book. But do y'all know that all millionaires pay themselves first? They ain't worrying about paying this person, paying that person, paying this person. They pay themselves first. So I want you to develop a habit on paying yourself first. Whether you pay yourself $100 a week, whether you pay yourself, $50 a week. Hey, I don't even care if it's $20 a week, but get in the habit of paying you first, right? You want to have your business account, and from that business account, y'all, have some money deposited into your personal checkings. That's how you pay yourself. Okay, so understand the importance of actually paying yourself first and not paying everyone else. Okay, so with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go to the next one, right? So the third reason of how they've programmed you to be poor is gonna be this, y'all. Somehow we've been trained to spend it before we get it. And Kanye West told us that too, y'all. We spend it before we get it. We don't even, all we know is, oh, but we're finna get a check for $500. That's all we know. And then what we start doing is, yep, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that. Oh, well, I'm gonna get that, but I'm gonna get the new J's. And we just keep on going on and on and on and on until where every time we get our check, it's already gone. It's already gone. We have this thing to where we spend it before we get it. When in actuality, we should invest it or we should actually save it, okay? Before we start spending it. We need to start allocating some funds, right, to a savings account, allocating some funds, okay, to some stocks, allocating some funds to something that's going to act like an asset for us instead of spending it on straight liabilities. And we do that bad, especially as a culture, y'all. So I want y'all to understand something. We got to start allocating funds to a savings or some type of investing account, something that's going to help us out in the future versus spending it all on liabilities. We're going to Wingstop, we're going to McDonald's, we're going to everything that's considered as a liability, y'all. And so I want you to understand the importance of not spending your money before you get it. Okay? I mean, it's one thing to plan, but we are planning to spend it. See, I need you to understand, I need you to plan it to allocate it, right? That's the difference. Plan to allocate the money in certain areas that's going to help you build, right? Instead of, I'm finna plan to go to the New York game, or I'm finna plan to go to a Falcons game, right? Understand the difference, y'all. So you want to plan to allocate instead of plan to spend, right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, plan to allocate, all right? Make sure you drop in the comments and say, plan to allocate, all right? So the next one, y'all, of how they trained you or programmed you to be broke and poor is going to be this, y'all. They trained you to get in debt, okay? They have trained you to get in debt. Reno, what does that mean? Student loans, y'all, consumer debt, cars, financing cars and just all this type of unnecessary debt. Why not buy a car full out? Now, I know people have different scenarios and situations. Okay, so I understand that. We'll get into that in a whole nother video. But by and large, what I'm saying is you want to keep that debt down, right? As soon as we graduate high school, what we do, y'all, we go to college, right? And then when we don't get a job in our career field, now we're sitting here looking crazy with a whole bunch of debt, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 in student loan debt that we can't pay out or that we can't pay back. Why? because we don't have a job or career in our career field. Okay? It's a vicious cycle, y'all. It's a vicious cycle. And so they train us to stay in debt. That's how they keep them shackles on us. Because just imagine, you know when you're working your job and you get one of them nice old fat checks, and then you realize that, man, I gotta pay this bill, or man, I gotta pay this credit card bill, or man, I gotta pay this car payment, right? And so it's like all your hard work is going to a bill, right? Drop in the comments and say I'm ready for that to stop. Okay, make sure you drop in the comments and say I'm ready for it to stop. If this is you, if you're going through this, it seems like your problems is so much bigger than your paycheck. Your problems is so much bigger than your paycheck. You're trying to figure out how and where the money is going. You want to make more money, but you got to cut down that debt. Okay, you're going to have to cut down the debt, y'all. And that's what they've done. They've trained us to get in debt. So by the time you're 25, 26, 27, 30, 40, 50, right? They already got you in the hole $100,000. Of course, it's a no-brainer for you to be behind. They already got you for $100,000. But when you cut that debt, guess what? Now you're able to play ball. You don't got to play defense no more. Now you can play offense. And that's the side you want to get on, y'all. So understand that. All right, so we're going to get to the last one, y'all. And it's going to be this. A lot of us are living beyond our means, right? A lot of us are living beyond our means. So, Reno, what does that mean? Understand this, y'all. All right, let's just say we making $40,000 a year. Why do we have a rent that's $2,000 a month? Why do we have a Mercedes-Benz? Why are we going out to eat every single day, right? Why are we, spending unnecessary money on liabilities? Why, right? Now, okay, cool. You making $70,000 a year and you got a rent that's $2,000 a month, right? And you go out to eat every day, okay? Depending on what you eat, we ain't talking about eating Benihana's, right? We ain't talking about going out here and eating hibachi every day, all right? I ain't saying that. But what I am, Ruth Chris every day. But what I am saying is this right here, y'all. You want to do whatever you do in moderation, right? In terms of your living circumstances. And so if you sitting here making $40,000, it's no reason for you to be living that way. You don't make the money for it, right? So you got to live within or below your means. And so a millionaire would definitely tell you to live below your means, right? But I understand that some people don't want to make that sacrifice, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad. But what I will say is at least live within your means. We have it bad than what we live beyond our means. We buying $1,000 shoes. We buying $1,000 Gucci belts, right? We just buying a whole bunch of liabilities that's not acting as assets, okay? So you want to invest your money into assets, y'all. All right, people, understand what I'm saying. This is how they program you to be broke, right? This is how they program you to be broke. A lot of us, we look at the TV or we look and see what this artist got, this rapper got, or what this person got, which we start trying to live and copy their lifestyle when they make 10 times more than us, right? And then what we do is we start going in even more debt, deeper debt, because we're trying to look like the Joneses, keep up with the Joneses. Listen, y'all, you'll get rich. And it's very possible and doable to get rich. We got 12-year-old millionaires, y'all. But first, you have to be able to create you an asset, right? Create you some passive income and create money that's going to come recurring every month, all right? Once you find out how to do that, y'all, now you'll be able to alleviate that stress. You'll be able to alleviate that financial stress, right? Financial stress is unnecessary to me. These are third world problems. Why do we got to worry about, changing the tire? Why should we worry about getting the oil changed? Why should we worry about getting groceries? These are unnecessary problems, right? These are problems that we really should not have, but some of us, we start off a little further behind. But that's okay. We're not going to use that as a crunch. That's why I say, y'all, we keep a rich mentality, right? So understand that, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to go into it any further. I just want y'all to understand what it means and how they have programmed you to be broke, all right? So with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.